Okay, so in this video I will show you how you can transfer your KOReader settings from the Onyx Boox Palma to the Bigme HiBreak. So you have the same settings, same fonts and everything on both devices. I will see if that works. This is the first time I do that, so hopefully it will work. So, starting by checking out KOReader on the Onyx Boox Palma, and we need to make sure that we are on the same version of KOReader. So go into Update and check for updates. As you see, the latest version. We do the same on the Bigme HiBreak. We have KOReader here. This is a freshly installed KOReader with no settings from me. So we go in here and check update. We check for update. Oh, we need to go into settings for the update to have update channel and choose development, as you see there. And then we need to check update again. We go into update, check for update, and as you see, KOReader is up to date. After that, you need to close KOReader on both devices. So you will go into this menu and we close the KOReader on the Bigme HiBreak. You can actually close every app you have open by clicking on that, like so. And we do the same on the Onyx Boox Palma. We go out here and we click on this button to close all the apps that are open, like so. So now we are sure that we are on the latest version on both devices. Now we will transfer the settings from the Onyx Boox Palma by using an SSD that uses MagSafe. So I have a MagSafe ring on this. You don't need that, of course. You can use this without attached on the back, but it's a very nifty SSD. I have videos on my channel on how I have been using it. So as you see here, we have Solid Explorer. If we want to use that, you can use that. I attach this like so, as you see. Now we have an SSD attached. We can see that by checking out the notification. We can transfer files. So now I usually go into the Onyx original launcher. I have installed another launcher, but I usually do this because I like to use the file manager on the Onyx Boox Palma original launcher, like this. As you see here, we have the Afro SSD there. I also have an SD card, but we will use the Afro SSD drive there. I will use my glasses for this so I can see what I'm doing. So if we click here on the Afro SSD, we have some maps here. We can do a lot of cool stuff here. We can make a new folder if we want by clicking up here, new folder, and we have, we can call it, let's call it KOReader settings, like so, because in that folder I want to have all the files I will move from my KOReader installation. You see there. So now we go back here, we go to the storage on your Onyx Boox Palma, and down here we will see KOReader. As you see there, we can long press on that, and we can copy, and we go out here, and we go into the A through, and we go to the folder we created like this, and click paste. Now it's copying all the files from the KOReader folder into this folder. And it crashed, so hopefully it still works, but let's see if it crashed in a good way. Doesn't look like that. KOReader settings, KOReader. Well, maybe it has copied everything. Yes, it has actually. So really fast. It was not a crash. It was so fast between the storage built in on Onyx Boox Palma and copy these files to the SSD drive. So fast. So now we have them here. Now we can unmount the drive like this, like so. Now I've unmounted the drive from the Onyx Boox Palma. So now we try for the first time to connect this SSD drive to the Bigme HiBreak, like so. Hopefully it will work. Hopefully this will work now. By going to the file manager, we will see internal storage, but no. There we have external storage. Yes, here we have it. KOReader settings, as you see there. So now we can go into this. We see this. And we can copy different stuff from here. We can copy, for example, books. Let's see if we can. Books. I'm not sure how to do this. We can these files are important to copy, as you see here. I have marked them. We can also mark, will that work? And mark a folder. No, it doesn't work like that, sadly so. So we will need to copy these first. Or maybe I should just copy the whole folder to replace. mark all. I'm not sure how to do this with this quite terrible file manager, but we will see how I will do that. Let's copy the complete KOReader folder from my SSD connected to the device. Copy. And now we go into the local storage. Why doesn't that work then? Quite buggy. Let's see if I can still have that in the memory here. Then we paste it. This was not as good file manager, sadly. We go back in here and see. KOReader settings. Copy. And now we go to the here we have these 3 dots, internal storage. Yes, now it will work. So now we can replace the KOReader folder. Doesn't work. Okay. We go into the external storage. We go to the folder we created. We go in here and we choose that one, we choose that one, we choose that one, we choose that one. And now we copy and we go into the quite irritating. I can't go back here. This is very, very bad. I need to see if we can find another file manager, maybe. if we so if we go into external storage again and copy this folder again, and then go to internal storage and paste it into the internal storage, like so. So we get that folder from the SSD drive to the internal storage, and from that we can copy the files we need to the right folder instead. That will be better. It takes a very long time now to copy from the drive to the internal storage for some reason. Hopefully it will work this way. It was very hard to find a way using this file manager to have this copying to this drive. Hopefully it will work. Like so. Now we have copied that folder. So now we can move files from the internal storage, hopefully, to the internal storage again. So let's mark these files again that we need. Those, and we copy them. We can even copy them to the folder immediately now. Internal storage, we have KOReader here. Now we paste. Okay. Seems to work. Now we go back to that folder and take KOReader settings again. We go into KOReader. We should copy this folder, settings. That's important. So those files are outside of folders you need to copy, and then you need to copy the folder settings. And then you go back to your KOReader install on the internal storage. And then we paste the settings. Didn't work. Because you need to remove that probably. Like so. And now we should paste. Then when you go back to the KOReader settings folder, and we copy the settings folder, copy, we go back into internal storage or KOReader installation and paste. Settings folder are pasted. Then we go back to the KOReader settings folder. So now we have copied these files, as you see down here, and the settings folder. Now we should do the same with fonts. Copy, and we go back to your KOReader install, like so. And here we need to remove the fonts folder if that's available, and it's not available. So now we can just paste, like so. all the external fonts I have installed in my KOReader installation, like so. So now we go back in the KOReader settings. We have now copied those files, the settings folder, the fonts folder. Now we should copy where do we have that? Is that in the settings folder? No. Where do we have dictionaries? There. Here we have the dictionaries folder. Those I want to copy, so we go into that folder and copies it. Now we should find that folder in your KOReader settings, KOReader install, like so. We go in here, we go into data. Here we have dictionaries folder, and then you need to delete that folder first and then paste. Now we should have our dictionaries folder soon when we have copied all those files. Like so. Now we have copied the dictionaries folder from the SSD drive. By the way, instead of an SSD drive, you can use a normal USB stick, USB thumb drive or whatever, with a USB-C connector. So now we go back into the KOReader settings folder, like so. And now we have copied that too. We have dictionaries, we have fonts, and we have the settings folder and all those files. That is actually everything you need to copy. You can also copy the books, of course, if you want, so maybe we should do that. It could take some time though, exactly as with dictionaries, but we copy them by doing this, copy, and then we go back into the KOReader folder, your installation, and here we have no books folder, as you see. So now I can paste that folder, and it will take some time because books are a bit, not so long time. So we now have some books. It takes not as long time as I thought it should. So now we have actually copied everything you need to try if this will work. We have books, we have fonts, we have dictionaries, and dictionaries folder is in the data folder. We have dictionaries there. That is what you need, and settings folder, of course, and all the files outside of folders you need to copy. So now we can actually unmount this external storage. I'm not sure how to do that on a Bigme device though. Can I long press? No. And we don't have any notification anymore. And do I have a notification from the standby page? No. So how to unmount then? External storage. I think I need to unplug this without unmounting, sadly so, but we do that this time. This is not so good to do, but I did that, like so. So now we have actually copied all the files from the Onyx Boox Palma to your Bigme HiBreak. All the files you need to have the same settings on both devices. So now it should be those settings. If we open the KOReader So we try to open KOReader and see if it crashes or if it works. Doesn't look so good with all the settings I want here now, but let's see. Do we have a books folder somewhere? There we have a books folder, but the wrong books folder. Doesn't look like it will work. There we have a KOReader folder with books. Now we will see, we can open that book to see if I have some settings at least. No, didn't work. For some reason it didn't work, like doing this. Well, it didn't work. Let's see if we have some settings. Do we have fonts at least? Fonts. Yes, we have the fonts. So font, all the fonts I want to have is installed, as you see there. And probably the dictionaries too. Yes, the dictionary works. So fonts and dictionary works, but not the settings. Okay. So fonts. Oh, now we are talking. This is how I want it, but not this. Well, it didn't work so good, so we go out of KOReader again, and now we will do what? Well, we close KOReader there, and we are going into the file manager to see the installation of the KOReader. We have KOReader here, we have the books here. Did we miss that? Maybe we can go into the KOReader settings here again, and we take the settings folder again. Settings folder, copy. We go into the KOReader settings. We delete the settings folder. And we paste it like so. We go back into the KOReader settings folder we created for this, and then we mark that, and we copy it, and we go back into the KOReader installation, and we paste it. Should we maybe just mark these to be sure that they are replaced by just remove them, delete, and then go into the KOReader settings folder again, and we copy those files again, like so, copy, and we go out and back into the KOReader installation and paste them, like so. Now then, we should see if we can have KOReader work as it should. Okay, looks better. As you see, it's a color device, so it will be rendering color images. You can turn that off in the settings in KOReader. But it's important to see if I have some settings correct now. Yes, now I have them. At least the status bar, exactly as I want. That's great. The fonts are wrong, or at least too small. Let's see if I can. Yes, the font is... So not all settings is available, sadly, but I will... this will be what I have done this time, because I can't do better than this, unfortunately. It's too small, this too. Atkinson HyperGlade is my favorite font, and as you see, it's actually have stored those settings. I don't know why it didn't save that. Very strange. So this is the font I want to use, and we have everything actually working. You see the margins is exactly as I want. So if we click down here, we can have all the settings that we see by checking all the margins. As you see, this is actually the right settings that I want to have. And the only difference is that the text is too small, and I think that's because I don't have the same DPI. So if we go up here and go into the ink center, we have default there. So if I want to have custom here, I want to have, when I using KOReader, I always need to have the best. I want HD 256 for that. That is what I want. And then I want to raise the DPI. Doesn't look like it gets any better though. Let's have it at 400 to see what's happening. Because in other apps you can have the text bigger with having a higher DPI. But maybe it doesn't work in this. And here we have some settings that is wrong, because I don't have a fallback image on this So some stuff you need to change and do better, but otherwise it should work. Maybe this is the way you should change DPI in Onyx, KOReader. Let's see. Here we have DPI settings. As you see, we can have 300 instead to see if that's better, but that is for zooming. So this is something to figure out how to do. You see the text is way too small, so maybe we should just put the DPI back to 300 at least, only because that is not working in KOReader for some reason. In all other apps that works, but we can have 322. I think I have on most apps, like so. So that we want to do now is to increase the font size manually. Oh, here we have set as this is what's wrong, I think. Yes. Okay, so the settings values is not stored yet in the book for some reason. That's strange. So word spacing I need to have small, I guess, like so. And we have other settings I need to do. We have the contrast. Okay, default. The default value, as you see there. So you see, it's a lot of stuff that's not copied over for some reason, but you have all the fonts and all the dictionaries and everything as it should. But that is what you have got and nothing else. We go back into this and see line spacing looks as not as default as you see. Set as the default value is 95 on my Onyx Boox Palma, like so. And we have default value is correct there. We have book, and here we have the margins. We have left and right margins, and the default value is 5.5. Here is 10.10. So let's change that to the default value and apply. This is what you need to do now to have all the settings as you want, sadly. But we have top margin, default values are 0, so we try that, like so. We have also that, we have changed that, we have changed that. Let's see what we had default here. Word spacing, we set that same. It was the same. And we have word expansion, default value 5. So we take that value also. And we have contrast set, we have font weight. We see what we had default. I'm not sure that I can have the bold value that as I had on the Onyx Boox Palma, because this screen is actually smaller. So, but we have that default now as I had on Onyx Boox Palma. We also have auto font hinting, font kerning, blah blah blah. So everything is set now exactly as on the Onyx Boox Palma. We have an alt bar. Yes, I have that too, as you see. Exactly as on the Onyx Boox Palma. Embedded style should be off. And we have image scaling fast, like so. This is what I have on my Onyx Boox Palma. Let's see if the settings are done about the same now. We go into KOReader. We are opening a book. I don't know if we have all the books, but we have the same book here. And we choose that. And here we have them, side by side. Same settings on both, as you can see. I finally did it. As you see here. The same settings, as you see. Really nice. The only drawback is that this doesn't have any warm light. The Onyx Boox Palma has that, so you see it's a bit warmer and this is cold. But anyway, as you see, now we have KOReader exactly as I want. Really nice. Okay, cool. I think that's it for this video. It's very long, but I wanted to show you. I'm doing this live for you on video because this is something I need to do now when I should start using the HiBreak too. I want to have the same settings on both devices so I can sync them and so on. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, bye.